Hi, it's Gwyneth here on a fabulous Feel Good Friday, teaching emotional intelligence to create brilliance so that you feel amazing about yourself in everything you do. Now, this week it's a little bit of a vulnerable post because, I talk about self-doubt and where's the evidence and I'm not good enough and I'm too old and all the rest of it. When you start doubting yourself, the downward spiral can happen very, very quickly. And this week has been pretty horrible, I have to say. I'm laughing about it, but honestly, if you could have seen me on Tuesday, Monday was even worse. Crikey. So this thing called the coronavirus, was it the World Health Organization, whichever organization it was that put out it's not a pandemic yet, but we're preparing. Oh, flipping heck, thank you very much, guys, because the largest part of my business is actually providing workshops to people, and I love working in groups. I love working, on the face-to-face. I love the interaction. I love the dynamic. I love the energy of people in a group having these conversations, challenging people. They challenge me. It's truly amazing. And all of a sudden, chuck, people are beginning to cancel. Ugh. It's my livelihood. How am I going to pay the bills? I thought to myself on Monday. Oh, crikey. How am I going to pay the bills? I thought to myself on Tuesday. And as I said, the issue is that when something like that happens, it's very easy to then start spinning into all the reasons about why you're not going to succeed in something. Those old habits that you thought you'd kicked years ago about doubting yourself, about being confident about yourself, about knowing your net worth, about having to market yourself and sell yourself, all those things suddenly go, well, basically down the toilet. Until then, I remembered that there's a fabulous software package and I'm talking to them about being an affiliate. So I'm not going to talk about too much. Don't want to mess things about. So then I started writing to some people and saying, I appreciate that there is this issue, etc., nipping it in the bud before even more people write to me and say, it's not going to happen, or we have to wait and see for 6 months. Yeah, well, I need to pay my bills for the next 6 months too. But to say to them, I appreciate this. And again, it just goes to prove that action is always going to be better than feeling scared, feeling doubtful of yourself, going into that spin. Now, I haven't heard back from everybody by any means, but once I started thinking about being able to offer the workshops online with the same level of interaction, with the same level of role plays, exercises, videos, whiteboard facility, and all that stuff that you have in the one-to-one face-to-face environment, then, I started thinking of other reasons why actually going online is going to simply be better for a lot of organizations and businesses. There's the environmental thing, so I don't have to get on a plane. There's my time thing, so that I don't have to spend a day traveling to and from a location. There are all sorts of things that I can do online for businesses to help them make the registration process and the follow-up process with their participants. I can make it all so much easier. So this is where technology is amazing, by the way. But it's, in my opinion, it doesn't, sorry, that's me clicking my pen because I'm thinking as I'm talking. It doesn't, what was I going to say? Yeah, doesn't take away from the fact that the face-to-face communication is still absolutely key, because if you try to do a workshop, in my opinion, on a, purely online with no personal interaction, that would be an absolute disaster. What is my message here? My message here is that we're all human. And even though I turn up on this fabulous Feel Good Friday every week, teaching emotional intelligence to create brilliance, teaching you to really believe in yourself, trust in yourself, I also want you to know that I totally understand how drastic it can be when sometimes you feel as though, everything is just crumbling around your ears, basically. Now, when this happens, and so what I did then was, the first thing I asked myself, was, you know, how do you know that everybody's going to cancel on you? And how do you know that you're clearly not good enough? Because just look at the reviews that people have given you over the past few years. And then the other question I asked myself was, what could I be doing differently? Now, from a coaching perspective, from a brain perspective, from an emotional intelligence perspective, what's happening in here, if you say, what should I do? What should I do? I don't know what to do. You won't be able to know what to do. If you ask yourself, what could I do differently? It triggers, I've said this before so many times, it triggers a different thought process in your brain, and you will start coming up with different options. And, you know, within the space of about 20 minutes from thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? I did actually have a list of 6 things that I could be doing differently that I could then start taking action on, and then I felt much better. Because also from an energetic point of view, if I'm saying, oh no, I don't know what to do, that's very, very negative energy. And positively, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Completely different emotional response. So there you are, a bit of a blah blah from me this week on a fabulous Feel Good Friday. Until next time, loads of love, stay safe, stay fabulous.